and welcome to the Tarot Cottage. My name is Amy. I'm here with a pick a card reading for you. So please pull up a chair, get cozy. We're going to have a little chat today because we're all friends when we gather around my table. Today's pick a card topic is all about the person on your mind today. Any person on your mind at this moment in time. How do they truly feel about you? And what do they want from this connection? What actions are they going to take towards this connection is a question we're going to ask as well. I want to welcome back my beautiful returning subscribers as always. I want to congratulate this month's winner of the free tarot reading. And I would like to invite anybody who is subscribed to the channel, anybody new on the channel who would like to subscribe and be a part of our beautiful soul family. I do offer a chance to win a free reading. And all you have to do is drop your comment below any of my readings this month for your chance to win. Be sure that you're subscribed. Be sure to hit your notification bell so that I can notify you via the comment section if you have been chosen the winner. And I do give you very clear indications on how to reach out to me so that we can get the ball rolling. Do not get scammed by people who are posing as the Tarot Cottage in the comment section. I will never ask you for payment information or anything if you are the winner of the free tarot reading, so be sure to protect yourself against scammers. But for today's pick a card topic, as I said, it's a person on your mind. What are their true feelings? What do they want? Are they going to take action upon it? We do have three piles. Pile number 1 here with the Lovers and the gray flower. Pile number 2 with the Tower and sort of the burgundy flower. Pile number 3 with the Knight of Cups and the orange flower. So whichever pile or piles are calling out to you, there may be messages waiting. I'm going to jump into pile number 1. And today's topic is all about the person on your mind. How do they feel? What do they want? Will they take action? Pile 1. Hello, pile number 1. You were drawn to the gray flower. You were also drawn to the Lovers, and this is your reading. The person on your mind, how are they feeling? What do they want? Are they going to go for it? Are they going to take action upon what they want? The Lovers, you can see there's Cupid's arrow that comes through, and we have like 3 people in the Lovers card. It looks like they're having a discussion. So it feels like something sudden that came up out of the blue, their feelings for you. The Lovers is a card of deep attraction and deep connection. It could have been a very sudden attraction that happened, kind of getting shot by Cupid's arrow. It's also a card of like choices and decisions and having to make a good choice about partnership as well. So I feel like there could be a lot of mutual energy here, but we can't deny that we have like 3 people in this card. So that could be a message that you will resonate with if there's challenges or obstacles, maybe in the form of even old attachments as a part of this Lover's message. But let's take a look here. I'm going to use the Joie de Vivre Tarot to start here today. We are starting with the 6 of Wands. How do they feel? What do they want, please, Spirit? That's where we're starting. How do they feel and what do they want? They've been very complacent up to this point, I feel like. Maybe they haven't taken a lot of action. Maybe trying to impress you, though. It's like I feel like it's almost like a vaudeville show I'm seeing. It's like somebody who's trying to kind of put on a mask of confidence, trying to look good, trying to act confident. We have the 10 of Coins reversed, coming in with the Hierophant reversed as well. How do they feel and what do they want? We have the Star. We have the Knight of Swords, coming out with the 6 of Cups, and we have the Queen of Cups. The Knight of Wands. Well, we can successfully and safely say that this person really wants you in a very real and physical way with the Knight of Wands, and like they think really highly of you. They think that you're very beautiful, very attractive. You don't have to be the divine feminine. You can be the divine masculine. It's all about energy, but it's the physical attraction that really got their attention in the first place. But it's been a mutual connection that I feel like has kept them interested. We have the 7 of Cups and we have the Queen of Swords coming through here too. A lot of emphasis on divine feminine energy. We have a lot of Taurus. We have a lot of Aquarius energy here as well. Lots of water as well. Let's just get a different deck. Clarifying the 6 of Wands, please. It really feels like this person almost has a crush on you. It feels like they've had a crush on you for a while, actually. It feels like you don't feel attainable, though. It's like maybe they think you're too good for them or you're out of their league in some way. But we cannot deny. Here's the Knight of Pentacles, Strength energy coming in. Seven of Cups. Lots of fantasy surrounding you, which boosts their ego, which makes them feel good about themselves, which make them feel confident. But then we can't ignore this Ten of Pentacles and the Hierophant reversed. It's like they have an issue with maybe authority that reigns over them. They have an issue with their position. Sometimes the Ten of Pentacles reversed can indicate like a certain amount of loneliness in my position, but I'm still worried about losing it. And there could even be like a divorce energy that comes through here. Like in a perfect world, they could have you and they wouldn't have to worry about the consequences of that. Because although, again, it's very physical, the initial attraction, it has turned into something deeper for them. Five of Cups. And they're really they've been very bummed out sometimes about this connection because they don't see the solution. Unless the solution could be this Ten of Pentacles reversed, that may not feel like a viable solution for them in this moment. So it feels like right person, wrong timing. Or again, maybe they just don't think that if there's no commitment cycle and you're not relating to that message. I am reading for the collective, so I do have lots of energies coming in. So if it doesn't resonate with you, you can try a different message or a different pile. But we can't deny that for someone watching. For someone watching, you're going to understand exactly what I'm talking about. They feel like it's like a lot of loss. It's like wasted potential because of their issue with the position. But they just might think that you're too good for them, that there's no way you would possibly want them. But I can't deny that I do get a sense of potential third party here. Because the Star is very optimistic, and yet mixed with the Three of Swords, it's a very contrasting energy. There's disappointment, there's frustration, heartbreak. It can feel like kind of a shocking attack. These swords are in, but they're not bleeding, you know, like their blood's not there. So it's like it's had time to coagulate. It's had time. They've had time to look at you. They've had time to attract all of these feelings. And there's an emphasis here on it's shifting from physical connection to more emotional connection. And that's what lures them to take action. I feel like this person would potentially try to make you laugh. Again, even if you work together, if you just know each other online, like they feel like they try to make you laugh. And there's a big temptation here. But I also get a sense of children coming through. So they could be defending themselves against the desire to act towards you because of an environment that includes their children or your children, perhaps. But they're showing me like the honeysuckle, and they're talking about how thoughts of you bridge this person back to abundance, back to joy. And I just keep hearing that song, Get in the Water, the Fool, the death energy. Taking leaps of faith, but it perhaps includes a death cycle. But what could they gain? They're not ready to release, but they're not necessarily ready to face the consequences of their action. Hierophant energy, Nine of Swords, the Three of Wands, and so they wait. This person wants you, but they're waiting. And I do feel like that's going to be a part of the actions that they take, is a sense of wait. We're going to check in on that in a moment, though. We're going to be a little bit more thorough with that. But there's a lot of consequences to them just taking action the way that they would want to, even though this action would bring them tons of confidence, make them feel really good, but it also puts a lot of pressure perhaps on a responsibility in an environment that they feel loyal to, or it's testing their integrity in some way. But you empower them. You make them feel more powerful just by the attraction. So this could even be a mutual attraction between the two of you, and they may be very conscious of how you feel in some way. Back of deck, Nine of Swords, Three of Wands, Eight of Cups, Ten of Pentacles poking out there as well. The necessity to walk away. Feeling not very perhaps emotionally fulfilled as well in the dynamics of my already present investments. How do they truly feel? What do they want? For pile number one. We have the Cobra. I think of the Kundalini Awakening with the Cobra. And when I think about the Kundalini Awakening, I do think about temperance and about those snakes that go up the pathway, but they're also highlighting sexual energy. And almost like being lured out of the basket It's like having a flexibility of thought, having a flexibility of my environment, and being lured out of the basket just by the magic of you. It's like you are the magician who is getting that cobra to come dancing out of the basket, and I'm under a spell. That's what it feels like. I'm under a spell when it comes to you. So it almost makes them deny their involvement. It's like, it's not my fault. It wasn't intentional. I got Cupid's arrow. It shot me. This person's magic lured me. It's like they're trying to pass the buck as whose responsibility does this lie in? We have the whale, someone who isn't expressing themselves, but if they don't, they're going to drown in their emotion. But they do always have thoughts of you. And although there are challenges, Spirit says, just like the octopus that can get itself out of really tight situations and really complicated situations, using our logic, using solutions could be the key to success, but it could include a lot of practical upheaval for this person. And that's why they are holding back or trying really hard to hold back in the very least. Let's get some honest love tarot messages here to see what sort of thoughts they're having, please, for pile number 1. How do they truly feel? What is it that they want? They want to express themselves to you. This is far from being over. 13 of the death cycle, however. And I feel like it's perhaps far from being over in a lot of different dynamics with death. I think about you every single day. And that's the 9 of Swords. All of these thoughts are thoughts of you. They could be dreaming about you, losing sleep over the situation. Make you jealous. Their situation might make you jealous if they are involved in another connection. I feel like they could also get jealous over you. I can't even look at what I've done, the 5 of Cups. And this is really apt because, as we mentioned before, they're focused on what they're losing and not on the solutions. And so ultimately, it's like they need to focus on what they can do. And not what they have done, but what they can do in the present moment. Finding the solutions, but feeling the loss. I have been hurt so many times before. 4 of Pentacles. I do feel the concern for the home here. And it says, you are too good for me. You deserve someone better than me. 9 of Pentacles. I'm patiently waiting for the right time. Temperance energy. But they create the right time by taking a leap of faith into the unknown. And that's what I feel like they are hesitating to do. But let's ask Spirit about specifically, what can you expect? What actions will they take, please, Spirit? Will they take action towards pile number 1? We have strength. And we see strength here with the 7 of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles. You know, the strength is the option. They're thinking about the option. There are shadows of doubt because the shadows of doubt are coming from their responsibilities. Leo energy really strong. Libra. Again, lots of Taurus today. Gemini. We have the Hanged Man reversed. They don't want to look like a traitor. And this kind of keeps them in a bit of a victim mentality. Trying to stay loyal despite the opportunity. I feel like they have plans, but they're waiting for the perfect moment. Yeah, the Emperor and the Moon. And the question that the Moon asks us is, what do we need to release? So what does this Emperor energy, Aries energy coming through now, what do they need to release? They're almost showing me like a tortured artist. Like they're showing me Van Gogh. And he was an Aries. And he was a tortured artist. And so they're speaking about like the work that has to be done. They're speaking about creative accountability as well, and what needs to be released before this person takes action. We have Queen of Pentacles on the back of the deck with the Knight of Wands, so they might need to release a queen in order to go towards a queen potentially, but there's the Knight of Wands. So this person does have intentions to take action, but they are surrendered into a victim mentality at this time, which will make it challenging for them to accomplish it. They're taking too passive of an approach at this time too, but given a perfect opportunity, they may launch towards you. Let's get the charm bowl, please, for pile number 1. What was the last thought this person had about pile 1 in the bowl? Oh, we have 2 that popped right out of the bowl here. The Emperor again, here with the death energy. 9 of Swords. The thoughts were like overthinking, worry, anxiety about transition, about taking a stand, about acting like a knight, because we always look at the emperor. If we can look closely at his cloak, he has knight's boots on. So he remembers what it was like to be in the field. He's arrived at a position that perhaps he should protect, but now he's second guessing that position. We have here the clipboard, a to-do list, Libra energy, gentle, and we have the hot chili pepper, I think of the Page of Wands, the letter C, and the blue flower, or it's actually a blue four-leaf clover. So they're talking about good luck on the side of the divine masculine, or waiting for good luck to hit. The letter F. We also have the Five of Swords. Now the Five of Swords is like an ego-driven energy that tries to keep us protected by inaction. Like it tries to gaslight us into inaction. We argue with this against our higher self and the logic that they provide us, and it keeps us stagnant. We do have temptation for the divine feminine here, and we have the divine mercy of Jesus. Could be a Catholic reference here, but also about kind of compassion, wanting mercy, wanting the universe to open up a way. Pile number 1 is what I have for you today. Hope it resonates with you. If it does, drop your comment below. I would love to hear your story. Even if you have to come back to leave it, I would love to hear your story. Also, leaving me a comment will allow you to enter for your chance to win a free tarot reading as well. So please drop those comments below if you're interested in that. Be sure to be subscribed and be sure to hit your notification bell. I do offer personal readings through my Etsy account, and that link is below as well. So keep checking back to that account. I do update that shop daily, but I do sell out quickly. So be sure to check back. I update it every day. And I hope you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Hello, pile number 2. You were drawn to the burgundy flower. You are also drawn to the Tower, and this is your reading. What does the person on your mind truly feel for you? What do they want from this connection, and are they going to take action towards it? Now, the Tower can be very explosive. The Tower can also speak about a solid build with effort, but you can see these people falling from the Tower here too with the winds of change. This can speak about wanting to create permanent change in your connection. So this could even be a friendship that we want to shift into lovers. This could be a situation that if I say something, it absolutely changes everything in my life. So there's explosive energy to these thoughts. There's explosive energy to the implications that this connection could create for our lives. So it could be very empowering with the burgundy flower, but let's take a look here. Pile number 2, please. How does the person on their mind truly feel, and what do they want from this connection to start? 9 of Swords, really overthinking, worried about the connection. Can't get you out of their mind. There's a rumination to it. So this is like a habit. This person's created a habit out of these thoughts. The 5 of Wands, coming out with the 9 of Wands, and yet they still hold back. And there's an emphasis on temperance now. Knight of Cups, the Hermit, I just heard nervous Nelly. The Emperor. I just saw the Tower again poking out, and here's the Judgment. There's the 2 of Wands. My goodness, back of deck. Judgment, 2 of Wands. Let's clarify as we go forward here. We'll use a smaller deck than that. The first question that comes to mind is, how does this person feel about you, pile 2? And there's Tower energy here now too with the 9 and the 7. And the truth is that there's this Knight of Cups. This person wants to make sure that you have a really high impression of them. Like they really want to put their best foot forward to leave you with a really great impression. I feel like this person is really quiet or shy or reserved. They could just be really nervous, like a nervous type of person. And like you represent so much abundance, like you could stop traffic in their eyes. 3 of Wands coming out with that as well. You could stop traffic in their eyes. What they want is a chance with you. That's what they want. I feel like they have had the specific thought of taking you out for a drink. Like, I want to take her out for a drink. I want to take them out for a drink. I want to see if we can lower our inhibitions a little bit so that I can be a little braver. Because this person feels really guarded, and they feel like they guard themselves a lot. It's like they hold back. And maybe because they feel like there's competition for you, or it's like they don't, again, they feel like they're not worthy of this connection. It's like they've been waiting to take action. Backup deck is 3 of Cups. So this could be a friendship or an acquaintanceship. This could even be within the dynamics of the work realm, but it's not overwhelming as a work realm message here. But there's something different about you, and they really compare you to other people, and they feel like you shouldn't just be friends. There's the Hierophant, though. There could definitely be work energies here. We have the Hanged Man supporting the Hermit. And back of deck again, Knight of Cups. So the problem is that they could be surrendering to the retreat, surrendering to like tiny, tiny baby steps in this moment. Because even when they take a baby step, they feel like they've taken a huge leap. It's like I just heard one small step for man, a giant leap for mankind. So what you would perceive as like a tiny, tiny step or an approach that this person would take towards you, they would see it as a huge deal because they had to work themselves up to do it, to be honest. Here's the Ace of Swords. And I feel like right now the narrative that this person is telling themselves is that I'm still feeling it out. I'm still gathering the information. I'm still trying to kind of leave my mark. I'm still trying to like put in little breadcrumbs or little feelers to see if this is something that is mutual, to see if this person would even be interested in me at all. Because there's an aspect of wanting to plant seeds, wanting to explore this connection, but having to step outside of my comfort zone in order to do it. And so they wait. And now this may not be, we're going to see what they will actually do if they're going to take action in a little while, but they're speaking now about where the mentality is, how this person feels in the present moment. Because they are reflecting upon taking action, and they're even reflecting upon like mutual flirtation cycles. So if you guys have ever been flirty with each other within the dynamics of a friendship, if there's been some flirtatious banter, they go back to that, and that's kind of part of the plan. But I also feel like they're not good at it. It feels like this person they're not really good at that aspect of it. And so that halts them. Their confidence may not be there. And they just feel quiet. They feel sort of shy, a little bit guarded. So they're feeling out the energy to see if it's mutual. And it's like they're preparing themselves for the worst. I should say they're preparing themselves for the worst in this moment. Maybe preparing themselves for the Tower moment, because they're saying, if I say something, I can never take it back. And I can't ease the sting of that on my ego if I get that rejection. And it almost feels like a learned behavior. Like I've gone through this cycles before. So it's like, I've been rejected before when I spoke up. I don't want to feel that way again. And this matters to me. Like there's a determination here that's being required, that's being asked of me, and a strength that's being asked of me. So this person, they've retreated with their feelings for you for quite some time. Back of deck, Emperor again, Aries energy, 7 of Wands, but there's the 5 of Wands. And there is a determination that I feel from this person to create the change. There's the Tower. But it's like they're putting it off. It's like they're delaying what they would say is the inevitable, because they're operating off the fear of the unknown. And so their fear of the unknown is that, well, I'm going to get rejected potentially. So I'm going to kind of put that off for as long as possible and enjoy this moment, maybe in a flirtation cycle, maybe with our back and forth banter. I'm going to enjoy this moment fully. But they are trying so hard to impress, even just by being generous with you, maybe in the environment that they know you. Sometimes the Hierophant can represent institutions like government, marriage. It can represent school. It doesn't have to be the work realm. You could know this person from church. You could know this person from the community. But like whenever they cross paths with you, they're trying to impress you with whatever ways they know how, even by just being generous with you. And it feels like almost like somebody who has given you something, or it's like they've been generous with you in little ways. And again, to you, it may seem little. To this person, it feels huge, like a huge undertaking. How do they currently feel, please? They think about you all the time. All the time. We have here Ram, a stubborn person, and a disappointment in some affair. Disappointment perhaps in their indecision, stubbornness that's leading them to disappointment, and a rigid mentality that could lead them to disappointment or lead them to inaction as well. On the floor, we have older man, dealing to relationship with an older man, and that could also be a part of the story here as well with the Emperor. He can sometimes represent a very mature energy, and yet they try to present themselves as like young and available, and just, it's like they're trying to tick all of the boxes when they do communicate with you. A sincere wish that will be granted, and yet they don't realize it in this moment. They don't realize that if they came towards you, that perhaps you would say yes. And this permanent change would be a very positive permanent change. Every time I see the needle and thread, I do think about mending a certain mentality. And I always think about that Bible verse that says it's easier for a camel to walk through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to get to heaven. And this person could be holding on to some very rigid ideas of limitations. They could even be religious based, so please take that as it resonates. That could be the foundation that they kind of come from. Just saw the Beware of Greed card. Dolphin, financial gain usually coming from something you did in the past. So I think of flirtation and laughter. We also have here May. I do think of Taurus. We also have here casket, someone going out of your life or the end of a situation. And it does represent the Tower coming through as well. It's representing the Tower. Now, we cannot deny that sometimes the Tower can represent upheaval in a already formed foundation. They did show me the marriage card coming out. So for someone watching, you could resonate with that marriage or that message. If there is other people involved, that's not the overarching theme of this reading, however, but that will resonate with you if it does. But this casket is all about endings that bring new beginnings. Ending one cycle, potentially in friendship, to bring in the abundant energies of tomorrow. We have compliments from an admirer, the bouquet. This could also be an indication of what is coming or what you can expect in the future. So let's get some message cards here. How are they currently feeling at this time? And we're going to take a look at what action they're going to take next. What are their current feelings, please? How do they truly feel about Pile? Some people don't want to see us together, but I don't care. But I feel like they kind of do, or they wouldn't be so passive or so careful about their approach. Oops. Just know that I'm obsessed with you. I have a gift for you. Again, very generous. I feel like this would be the type of person to show you that they care through acts of service, through gifts that they're giving you. They could be very traditional, especially if they're a little bit older than you. It says here, I don't want to hide this connection and how I feel about you anymore. I know you've been right. I've been trying to forgive myself. And that guilt energy might come in if they are not being honest with you, or they haven't been honest with you from the start, or if they aren't being honest within the dynamics of a different tower. So please take that as it resonates here. You are so attractive to me, you don't know what you do to me. Back of the deck says, I was in denial. I've thought about you spending time with my family and I. So the Tower could also represent family energies. That could be also the fear of like stepping out, allowing you into a new world that they are very guarded and protective of. And so they're putting out all of these feelers about how to seek out information about you and about what you're available for and whether or not you're even interested in this connection. And they could be applying these feelers before they decide to take action or really take a really active approach. But let's see, are they going to take action? What action will they take towards pile number 2? Now my light did go out one side. It was getting a little low, but that could be again the aspect of turning a light out in order for new light to open up somewhere else. So please take that as it resonates. What action are they going to take? 5 of Cups, 4 of Cups, I just heard you better embrace it before it disappears. We have the World. Just saw the Chariot. I do feel like in this moment, this person's momentum towards taking action is a little bit limited because of their expectations. It feels like a big crush energy, but they're just focusing on loss right now instead of focusing on what they're going to gain out of the situation. So that's stopping them from taking the leap of faith. I do feel like they have intentions of some type of initiation, but it may take time to come in. In this moment, it's like they're hiding behind their high priestess. They're just watching. They're just watching, gathering information, perhaps gathering the information for the perfect moment before they launch. But in this present moment, Spirit says they may not be able to have the gumption to act, at least not at this time. Now that is liable to change. Future is very fluid. And the purpose of the tarot reading is so that we can make adjustments. So your guides are just letting you know the probability of them taking action right away, or even within this next perhaps 4-ish, 5-ish month, it may not come to pass. Their last thought, please, about pile number 2 in the bowl. 10 of Swords, devastation, helplessness. It's like they don't want to create arguments or conflicts within already formed foundations. They don't want to deal with gossip. They don't want to deal, like they're worried about a lack of support. And that could, again, that could be coming in because they have a foundation in place that they're worried about, or that could be coming in because they're worried that they don't have your support in this. They're worried about creating conflict in an already present friendship. So this leaves them feeling defeated before they even accomplish the task or even attempt the task. So it's a very kind of self-fulfilling prophecy if we continue to hold back in a helpless mentality, because those who think they can do. We have Q and J, L, I, and A. The Star of Aquarius, and directions going backwards. And we also have here the horse as well. This horse kind of looks like it has a broom for a tail, so they're talking about clearance for growth. We do a little card here. It's kind of tattered in the bowl, but it's the 4 of Pentacles, so a vulnerability, a concern for my position or home. We also have the butterfly of transformation, wanting transition and wanting evolution in this connection. But it's like we have to associate work with some of that transition as well. All right, pile number 2, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates. Please drop your comments below for your chance to win a reading with me. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personal reading, and I do update that shop daily, so keep checking back. But I hope you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day. Hello, pile number 3. You were drawn to the orange flower or to the Knight of Cups, and this is your reading. How does the person on your mind truly feel? What do they want from this connection, and will they take action upon it? Now, the Knight of Cups is a very suave knight. He wants to come forward with an offer. He wants to present his best self. There is a lot of romantic energy surrounding the Knight of Cups. He's sometimes in the sense of being in love with this idea of love too. So there could be a little bit of a hesitation here coming in, maybe some vulnerability. But there's a beautiful energy here about empowerment and finding empowerment through offers that come in. So this person perhaps wants to make a beautiful offer towards you that could empower you or empower the connection. I'm going to use the Golden Girls Tarot for you to begin here. What are their true feelings? Please, for pile number 3, what do they want? And are they going to take action to get it? Pile number 3. What do they want from this connection? How do they currently feel? Ooh. Okay, so we've got lots going on here. 3 of Pentacles, 2 of Wands, and the Emperor coming out first for you. And I like the energy surrounding the 3 of Pentacles because there's like things happening. They're baking a cake. And you know, if you watch Bridgerton, there's that line that says everything begins with cake. Here we have the 2 of Wands with the Emperor. And ultimately, in my first position, this is very favorable. There's a lot of good energy here. There is a sense of somebody who perhaps sometimes takes a more of a passive approach than they should. Maybe in an act of self-protection a little bit. Also somebody who's made mistakes in the past. Like they've made mistakes in the past, maybe even with you. Maybe they've made mistakes with you in the past. And now it's like they're perhaps feeling like they have to convince you or have to get on your good side in some way. We have the 3 of Wands. And I just heard, like, this is the Golden Girl Tarot, and Sophia Petrillo here, I just heard picture it. You know, she would always say in that show, picture it, Sicily, 1922. And in this moment, this person's picturing expansion with you. So they fantasize about this Three of Wands, this fire energy, this expansion. And they've been picturing it because I feel like they've waited. But if you look really closely at Sophia's glasses here, her binoculars, the sun is setting. So if they wait too long, they could wait and lose the opportunity. So they could even be knowledgeable of, like, if I keep hesitating, this may not happen for me. Because there's an emphasis on building a foundation. It's like the only way that we can start, we're perhaps in the flirtation phase, or we've been in the flirtation phase back and forth, and that could be how the foundation has began, taking a passive approach there. But it's like we have to bridge the gap and find the determination to act upon our plans. How do they truly feel for pile number 3, please? We have the Two of Pentacles, the Judgment, the Knight of Cups, and this Knight of Cups wants to come forward with an offer, but they keep going back and forth. They keep having this difficult challenge in deciding. And not even deciding on what they want because they want expansion, but committing to the decision, I feel like, is really important. We can't deny that sometimes the Two of Pentacles can indicate somebody who does maybe hold space for multiple people. So there could be, it's like maybe they don't know if they're ready for commitment cycles in this moment, or maybe they are juggling too much on their plate right now with career versus love realm. They have a lot to reflect about, and they reflect a lot about you as holding one of those placeholders. And I feel like, too, there's this hesitation because I feel like this is the type of person that is a bit of a social chameleon. They know what to say when they're talking. They know how to say it. But they may not have as much follow through in the past. Maybe you've recognized that in a cycle with this person of not having enough follow through. But they're great with language. We have the Six of Wands. And the back of her banner says Best Friend of the Year Awards. This person also has this sense of wanting other people to think of them as abundant. Like they need that a little bit for their ego right now. And they could even be waiting for some of that confidence. Like deep down, they don't actually feel good enough. Which is why they have a hard time committing to choices and committing to decisions and being vulnerable. They don't feel good enough. So it's like they rely on the accolades. They rely on other people's opinions being very high of them. And they could be kind of gathering that. That could be why perhaps they juggle a lot, because they're trying to gather enough confidence that will actually help propel them into true confidence. We have the Five of Swords. Back of the deck, we have the Death energy, and there's the Nine of Cups. And they have all of this hope. They want more. We can see that they want more, and yet they are being so passive about it potentially, or they have been passive about it. They may come across as someone who's a bit of a collector, but I feel like it's deeper than that. I feel like their actions may reflect somebody who maybe has played the field in the past, maybe has had multiple people interested in them, or they've been interested in multiple people, but it trickles down to this fear of I'm not enough. And so if I'm not enough, I need to gather as much support systems or as much confidence as I can because I don't feel good enough. We have the Two of Swords. And they're making me stare at Stan here. Stanley Zbornak. And in that show, again, he was the divorcee. He was divorced from Dorothy. So they're talking about divorces. So please take that as it resonates. And they just keep repeating, hi, it's me, Stan. It's me, Stan. We have the Ace of Cups. The Five of Swords. There's something about this person's feelings for you that make them feel really vulnerable. And I feel like that perhaps hasn't happened to them in past connections, or it doesn't happen as often as you would think. It's like there's something about the feelings for you that make them feel really vulnerable, which raises the stakes a little bit higher for them. And that's why they're in this Five of Swords conflict, because their higher self may be telling them through this judgment period, you know, you need to step outside of your comfort zone. You need to be a little bit more vulnerable in order to go into victory. And then the ego steps in front and says, whoa, what kind of action do you think I'm ready for? Or how is this going to affect me? Is this going to blow up in my face? What if I get rejected? So in an act of trying to kind of contain everything, they're containing everything. Trying to micromanage the situation is actually making them lose the potential a little bit here. If they continue to focus on the Five of Swords. How do they currently feel? What do they want here in this connection? I feel like their higher self wants them to build a foundation. Their higher self sees the abundance here with the Divine Feminine. You're the lure. You're kind of, it's like they're trolling. It's like the spirits are trolling, and you're the lure, trying to lure this person out of their comfort zone and out of their shell, because there's a sense of vulnerability that comes in. I also get a sense, I just heard, and this will not resonate for everyone, but I just heard short king. So this person could be sensitive about their height. So please take that as it resonates to your situation. That will not resonate for everyone. But it's like they're sensitive about size. And like the stakes are high, because look at you. You represent everything abundant about the Divine Feminine, sensuality, like you're gorgeous, you're smart, you're creative, you're sensitive. Like this is beautiful energy. Why wouldn't they want to put their best foot forward here? We have here the Six of Wands. Back of deck is the Knight of Wands and the Justice. Now the Knight of Wands here says, well, my intentions, my desires are just to take action in a physical way, and I don't want to deal with the consequences. But the Justice says there will be consequences to that. And these consequences can actually empower you, but you have to let your version of balance get thrown off balance, because the version of balance that this person is trying to maintain is not working for them. It's not creating balance. It's creating the Five of Swords. And so ultimately they're saying, I want you in a very physical way. But I know that this connection, Knight of Cups, Empress energy, deserves more than just lust, deserves more vulnerability. And that's the challenge that this person hits. It asks them to chip away at the mask that they wear. Because right now their confidence is taking a back seat to this Five of Swords. And that's not a very good projection point or a very good momentum creator in this moment. Because they could actually, if they actually took the chance and was vulnerable, they could actually get their desires fulfilled. And their emotional desires. They're not just lusty desires, they're emotional desires. How do they truly feel, please? What do they want from this connection? A part of them knows that victory could lie with you. Collaboration with you would result in victory here. We have Secret Admirer. On the vase is a bunch of cherry blossoms. I always think of the springtime, and I think about sexual energy and bridging a gap between innocence and more. We have good news. Waiting to hear good news. Waiting for a perfect moment. Waiting for vulnerability to subside, perhaps. We have here, news is on the way, but it's coming out with disappointment in a friend or lover. And that could be what they're anticipating. It's like they're anticipating wanting news. They're anticipating news coming in, but it's almost like they're bracing themselves for an impact. Wishbone, a wish that is granted. And we have here the most difficult part of a situation is over. And the most difficult part of the situation for this person on your mind pile 3 is actually revealing themselves to you in a true way, not just in a flirtatious way or any other mask that they're wearing, but in a true, authentic, vulnerable way. That's the biggest challenge for this person at this time. Let's take a look at some message cards. How are they truly feeling before we take a look and see if they're going to take action towards you? What are their true thoughts and feelings towards pile number 3 at this time, please? How do they truly feel? I lie awake thinking about our future. I'm just saw love me. I feel the same way. Two of Cups, wishing that we could be in a relationship. So this could be very mutual for you as well, pile 3. Ace of Swords, the truth that sets us free, brand new initiatives. Ace of Swords can sometimes sting a little bit too. So it's like, if I want the answer, but do I want the answer? Be careful what you wish for. They're worried about rejections. It says here, you already know how I feel, that my life actually started when I met you. And that's a very vulnerable admission. Very vulnerable admission. And they're like trying to make the assumption of like, well, I don't have to say it because it's obvious, or it goes without saying. But no, the Spirit says in this case, your mastery is saying it. You have to say it. You have to feel it. You have to be vulnerable, taking the chance. I just saw reach out. If I imagine you naked coming out on the back of the deck as well. Back of the deck has, I'm absolutely in love with you, but do I have the strength and ego to express myself? This can speak about friendships, and a friendship that means something. You know, other connections, perhaps I can just go forward with less and I don't have to really worry about the consequences, but this means something to this person because they're the emperor, you're the empress. And this connection has brought them to a crossroads that asks them to fear losing that over the fear that they have of being rejected. Now let's ask Spirit here about, are they going to take action towards pile number 3, please? Are they going to act on how they feel? We have the Queen of Swords. We have the Magician on the floor. We have the High Priestess coming out with the King of Cups. Now, their higher self is working on them to try to get them to take a leap of faith. They could be a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio coming through, but their higher self is not very happy with the momentum. And with that 5 of Swords right in the center of their reading, that's what's halting everything up, and that sailboat could sail away. Timing seems to be an issue a little bit here. Queen of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, and the Temperance. The truth is that I feel like they're turning to the Divine Feminine, hoping for more clarity. It's like in a perfect world, they could maintain their passive approach and still get what they want here, but this is actually part of their mastery, and we can't sort of save them from themselves or save them from their karma or their consequences. But that could create a passive approach that gets really frustrating for the Divine Feminine, and you might observe that. There's lots of potential, but they are scattering the potential. So there could be turns of events here in your favor, but they're going to hold back. So they may not be the ones that turn them. There could be communication that comes in or clarity that comes in from the Divine Feminine towards the Divine Masculine here. But I don't feel like the Divine Masculine will have the courage, at least not in this moment, with the 5 of Swords leading the charge, the 5 of Swords in the future position. Confidence is taking a back seat for them. And, you know, the purpose of the tarot reading is to provide us with, you know, a future outcome that is mutable, that we can shift and move and create a new outcome based on micro adjustments. And it gives us this outcome so that we can make those adjustments if we see something not moving in our favor, and we can do something about it. So your guides are just outlining that things may not shift here if you're waiting for the Divine Masculine to shift it. Let's get a charm bowl, please, for pile number 3. The last thought they had about pile 3 in the bowl today. 8 of Wands. It could have been a physical thought. It could have been a sexual thought. It's like they were allowing themselves to go rampant in thoughts, allowing themselves to think about momentum and sexual pressure and desire and communication. And they were doing it in like a dream realm or in a fantasy realm because that was a safe realm. They could maintain their safety there and keeping the loyalties to these thoughts hidden from you because they don't have the confidence and they're not ready. They don't feel ready for the momentum. I also feel like they have a limitation of like being ready for commitment cycles, and they know that you're commitment material. We have an anchor. We also have a hospital here and a wrench. I think of the monkey wrench. I think of children. I think of the fear of the unknown, but it can be empowering when we overcome it. Aries energy. I see the white flower as a trillium, but that you can see whatever flower pops up into your mind. I'm from Ontario, so that's probably why I see it. We have here the Hermit shell, Virgo energy for the Divine Feminine, and the key. So you may have retreated, or you may feel like it's not your job. You will retreat. We also have praying hands and the music note. And I used to have a teacher that used to say, you know, singing is like praying twice. So there's something here about singing a song, maybe even singing your song, clarifying things. We also have the honey cells here, 6 honey cells. I do think of the 6 of Pentacles and communication that could help to establish something permanently. All right, pile number 3, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates. If it does, drop your comment below for a chance to win a reading with me. Be sure to hit your notification bell so that I can notify you if you are chosen the winner and we can get the ball rolling. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personal reading, and that link is below as well. And I do update that shop daily, so keep checking back. But I hope you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a beautiful day.